Here we go, guys. I am back. And it's about that time of month again for the full moon. This time it's going to be a pink moon joined by 3 other planets. Now, this has been an exciting last 30 days. So we've had 30 or so days. We've had a full moon. We've had a new moon. Then we've had the aligning of 5 planets. So check back some of the lives and you'll see how we talked about the 5 planets that align with the moon. Venus, which is my ruling planet. I'm learning so much about this. Thanks, TJ. So check that out and you'll be able to see some of the things that happen with those 5 planets. And now we're back here on the full moon. So I'm going to get right into this. Right after I talk about Pixabay, you'll see a lot of my new graphics. They come from Pixabay. They're not a sponsor, but I get a lot of things from Pixabay for free. They're free use, and you can actually use them for commercial use as well, as long as you make some changes and do some different things. You have videos, moon videos, and it's just a lot of things here, guys. So check out Pixabay and find some free use content. And then last month we had some jokes about the moon. So this month I created a few, and I have some from last month. So I want to play those towards the end. And now we're going to get right into this article because I know you're here to learn about the moon and the full moon and what it's going to do. So let's start right now.
Full moon April 2023. Pink moon joins 3 planets in the night sky by Jesse Mspak. Last updated 5 days ago. The full moon will be joined by a few visible planets this month. April's full moon. The pink moon will occur in the eastern U.S. on April 6th at 12:34 p.m. 0434 UTC, according to the U.S. Naval Observatory, opens in new tab. In New York City, moonrise is at 7:04 p.m. EDT on April 5th, several hours before it is officially full, according to time and date. COM, opens in new tab. The sun sets that evening at 7:24 p.m., so the two will share the sky for a short time. The timing of lunar phases depends on one's time zone. In Paris, the full moon occurs at 5:34 a.m. local time on April 6th, while in Melbourne, Australia, it is at 2:34 p.m. local time on April 6th, with the moon rising that evening at 6:14 p.m. Australian Eastern Standard Time. Hoping to snap a good photo of this full moon? Our guide on how to photograph the moon has some helpful tips. If you're looking for a camera, here's our overview on the best cameras for astrophotography and best lenses for astrophotography. As always, our guides for the best telescopes and best binoculars can help you prepare for the next great skywatching event. Full moons happen when the sun and moon are on the opposite sides of the Earth. The moon's orbit is inclined slightly to the plane of the Earth's orbit, so the moon doesn't pass through the Earth's shadow every time it completes a circuit of the Earth. Similarly, we don't see the moon pass directly between the sun and Earth every month. As a result, we see the fully illuminated side of our satellite most months. The very word month comes from the word moon. When the moon does pass through the shadow of the Earth, we see a lunar eclipse. The next one is slated for May 5th, and will be visible Africa, Europe, Asia, and Australia. Through binoculars or a telescope, the full moon is so bright that details can often be lost. From a lunar observer's perspective, the sun would be directly overhead. It would be noon, so there are few shadows to give any contrast. Moon filters are available that can make some features stand out, but if one waits a few days after the full moon or observes a few days before, shadows will bring out more detail. Meanwhile, on Earth, the full moon is bright enough to cast visible shadows. The effect is especially stark on a snowy surface in winter. On the night of April 5th, as the moon gets higher in the evening, one can see no fewer than 3 of the 5 naked-eye planets. For observers in mid-northern latitudes, one can catch Mercury just after sunset, which is heading towards its highest elevation in the evening sky. That occurs on April 11th. On April 5th, when the sun sets in New York, the planet will be about 16 degrees high in the west, but it won't become easily visible until about 20 minutes after the sun gets below the western horizon. Mercury will still be about 12 degrees high, difficult to spot, but not impossible. Above Mercury, and much brighter, is Venus, which is often one of the first stars to come out as the sky gets darker. At sunset, Venus is at about 35 degrees altitude, and it is so bright it is often mistaken for an airplane. Higher still and some distance east is Mars, though that planet will be more easily spotted by about 8 p.m. local time. It will still be some 65 degrees up. Jupiter and Saturn are both not readily visible, as they are currently up during the day and lost in the solar glare. Jupiter sets only 20 minutes after sunset and Saturn rises on April 5 at 4:58 a.m. In New York, it can be seen hugging the horizon, just 10 degrees high by 6 a.m. On April 5, the Sun follows it at 6:33 a.m. For observers in mid-southern latitudes, such as in Melbourne, Mercury is much lower in the sky at sunset. It is basically not observable as it is only a few degrees above the horizon at sunset. On April 6 the planet sets at 6:40 p.m. while the Sun sets at 6:06 p.m. local time. Venus is also low to the horizon, but its brightness makes it an easier target. At sunset the planet is still some 16 degrees above the northwestern horizon, so as evening progresses it will become more distinct even as it gets lower. The planet sets at 7:43 p.m. local time. Mars is higher still, and almost due north, but it too is only 26 degrees high at sunset, and won't become readily visible until about 6:30 p.m. local time, when it should just be coming out against the darkening sky. Mars sets at 10:22 p.m. local time and by 7 p.m. makes a triangle of reddish lights with Betelgeuse above it and to the left and Aldebaran slightly below and further to the left, westwards. Jupiter and Saturn, as viewed from the northern hemisphere, are largely unobservable as they are so close to the Sun. The Moon will be in Virgo, one of the more prominent springtime constellations. One can find Spica, the brightest star in the group, by using the Big Dipper's handle and making an arc to Arcturus. A sweep along the handle leads one to Arcturus, the brightest star in Boötes, the herdsman, and continuing southward leads to Spica, which will rise at about 8 p.m. local time in New York. By 9 p.m. Virgo is completely above the horizon. As you turn westward along the zodiac, one encounters Leo, the lion, which by about 10 p.m. on April 5 is high in the southeast and mid-northern latitudes. In darker sky locations, one can see the Hydra which snakes its way up the sky from near the horizon to the right of Virgo to just to the west, below and to the right, of Leo. The Hydra carries Crater, the Cup, another fainter group of stars that will be to the right, east, of the Moon at about 10 p.m., though the full moon may make it harder to see it. After midnight, the summer stars become visible, within the summer triangle, Vega, Altair and Deneb, above the horizon by 2 a.m. East of Virgo, in the Moon, will be Scorpius, which hosts Antares, with a distinctive reddish tint that makes it visible even with the Moon's glare. If you live in the southern hemisphere, by about 7:30 p.m., one will see Alpha Centauri 28 degrees high in the southeast, with Hadar, the second brightest star in Centaurus, just above it and to the left. Above that is the Southern Cross, and higher still, nearly 2/3 of the way to the zenith and in the southwest, is Canopus, the brightest star in Carina, the ship's keel. South of Carina one can, from darker sky locations, see the large Magellanic Cloud and small Magellanic Cloud. These are two satellite galaxies of the Milky Way. Also in the western sky, stretching from low in the southwest to the northwest, is Eridanus, the river, which starts at Achernar, a star that will be directly below Canopus but only 26 degrees high, and wins its way to a point near Rigel, the foot of Orion. Despite its moniker,
I'm going to pause this so we can listen to the video right here because I wanted to see what that says, and let's go.
What's up for April? Mercury rising, this month's moon and planet pairings, and the Lyrid meteor shower. First up on April 11th, the planet Mercury, smallest and fastest moving of the planets in our solar system, will reach its highest and most visible in the evening sky for the year. Mercury is only visible in the sky for a few weeks every 3 to 4 months. The rest of the time, it's too close to the Sun in the sky and is lost in its bright glare. And since the planet orbits so close to the Sun, it's always near the Sun in the sky, appearing low near the horizon for no more than an hour or two, either following sunset or preceding sunrise. Some of Mercury's fleeting appearances, known as apparitions, are better for observing than others, for a combination of reasons that have to do with how our view of the solar system changes with the seasons, what hemisphere you're in, and what phase the planet happens to be showing us at the time. For this apparition in the northern hemisphere, the best viewing is April 3rd through the 11th, as the planet appears higher in the sky each evening. It quickly fades in brightness after that, as the phase it shows us becomes an increasingly slimmer crescent. Also on April 11th, you'll find the planet Venus, right next to the Pleiades star cluster. The two will be close enough to appear in the same field of view through binoculars. This pairing makes for a fun reminder that the night sky is kind of like a time machine. The farther out in space you look, the farther back in time you're seeing. On that night, you're seeing light that left Venus about 9 minutes earlier, whereas the light of the Pleiades left those stars around 400 years ago. The latter half of April includes some awesome close approaches of the moon with 3 of the bright planets in the sky. On April 15th and 16th, you'll find the crescent moon rising with Saturn. Find them low in the southeastern sky in the couple of hours before sunrise. Then on
And there you go, guys.
the evening of the 23rd, find the slim crescent moon hanging just 5 degrees above Venus in the west after sunset. And on April 25th, the moon finds its way over to Mars high up in the west after dark. At this time, around the 26th and 27th, the moon will be at its first quarter phase, meaning it appears as a half moon high in the sky after.
They went a little bit further than I thought, but you get the point with the new moon, or with the full moon, which is coming, guys. So I'm going to finish playing this and then play a few videos and we'll get out of here. But the one thing you need to remember is the full moon will be joined by a few planets this month. And the full moon starts tonight. And depending on how your weather is, I've seen my weather's been crazy today. And there's a lot of clouds, so I don't know if I'll be able to see the full moon coming up tonight. But I'm in the Dayton, Ohio area. But tomorrow it looks a little bit more clearer. So hopefully there's going to be a better time to see it. So as you see, we have heavy thunderstorms. And let's see, tomorrow. Okay. Everything is slowing up here. I guess it's that storming out there. Okay. So I probably won't be able to see it tonight. As you see, it starts to possibly, maybe in the morning, it starts to clear up. But tomorrow, when the full moon, the complete full moon comes out, hopefully I'll be able to see the pink and everything, because I'll have a lot of time to see it. And there you go, guys. So let's continue. Here you go, right here. And let's continue, and we'll be finished with this here in a minute. So despite, we're going to start right there.
That the Ojibwe and Small Magellanic Cloud, these are 2 satellite galaxies of the Milky Way. Also in the western sky, stretching from low in the southwest to the northwest, is Eridanus, the river, which starts at Achernar, a star that will be directly below Canopus but only 26 degrees high, and wends its way to a point near Rigel, the foot of Orion. Despite its moniker, the pink moon isn't actually pink. The name pink moon comes from the bloom of ground phlox, a pink flower common in North America, according to the Old Farmer's Almanac, opens a new tab. It has also been called the sprouting grass moon, the egg moon, and the fish moon. According to the Ontario Native Literacy Coalition, opens a new tab, the Ojibwe peoples indigenous to North America called it the sucker moon after the common fish species known as suckerfish, opens a new tab. This fish, also known as the remora, is one of the animals that the Ojibwe saw as a messenger between the spirit world and ours. In the same region, the Cree called April's full moon the goose moon, as April was the month when geese returned to the north after migrating south for the winter. The Tlingit of the Pacific Northwest call the April full moon Zygakiani Dis, meaning budding moon of plants and shrubs, according to the Tlingit Moon and Tide Teaching Resource, opens a new tab, published by the University of Alaska at Fairbanks. In New Zealand, the Maori people's traditions for April full moons reflect the fact that April is an autumn month in the southern hemisphere. The Maori called the April moon Paingawawa, describing the month as a time when all straw is now stacked at the borders of the plantations, according to the Encyclopedia of New Zealand, opens a new tab. For Jewish people, April 5th marks the beginning of the holiday of Passover, the 15th day of the lunar month of Nisan, which celebrates the escape from slavery in Egypt. Christians celebrate Easter during this lunation, though the date of Easter is calculated from the 14th day of the lunar month rather than the astronomical full moon, and Western churches have generally followed the rule of Easter falling on a Sunday following that lunar date. Hence Easter in 2023 is April 9th, the first Sunday after the lunar date, 14th day of the fourth month, that falls after the vernal equinox, but even that last date is a little arbitrary, because while the astronomical equinox can fall on March 19th, 20, or 21, churches use March 21st by convention. In China, the April full moon falls during the second lunar month, but that's because there is a leap month this year. The lunar calendar has to add such a month every so often to stay in step with the seasons because a lunation is shorter than a typical calendar month, 28.5 days as opposed to 30 or 31 days. So even though it is the third lunation of the year, the month is a second run of the apricot month or Xingyue, called such because it is when the eponymous trees blossom.
Nice, guys. A little extra information that I received here that I didn't realize. This is space.com. If you like what you've heard or seen so far, make sure you log on to space.com. You can search them, or what I did was I just searched full moon or full moon pink or full moon in April, and it came up, and that's some great information. So also one more thing, I might not play it today, but you can look at it. They have a webcast, so if your weather is messed up or a lot of storms or something, let's see how long this is. Give it a second. But if you have a lot of storms or a lot of clouds, okay, live in 8 hours. Okay, cool. Notify me. So they're going to notify me, and we're going to watch the pink full moon 2023 online observation. Okay, good. So if I can't see it tonight outside, I'm going to watch it on their notification, and you can watch it on a notification as well. Good, guys. So I'm gonna leave this page up, and we're about to get out of here. I want to make sure you get to the YouTube blog. This is a great piece of information. I mean, they have so much going on. They have the 100 billion views in YouTube gaming. So that's something I want to definitely learn about. My son is a big gamer. And another thing I was looking for is the, what is it called? I forgot what it's called. Coachella. So that's coming up as well. But check out the blog, guys. And now let's get to these jokes. I'm going to give you some of the jokes from last month, last full moon, and then I'm going to give you some of the jokes for this full moon, and then we're going to get out of here. So, nope, got 2 videos to play because this is one of my favorite videos now. But let's hit the jokes.
I've always been fascinated by the moon's phases. I mean, can you imagine if humans went through phases like that? One day you're full of energy and excitement, and the next day you're just a tiny sliver of your former self. Actually, come to think of it, that sounds a lot like my Monday mornings. Rare. Hey, did you hear about the moon's new job as a waiter? Yeah, apparently it's working at a fancy restaurant on the dark side. I hear the tips are out of this world.
Yes. Why did the moon refuse to go to the doctor? Because it was feeling a little lunatic. Why did the moon break up with the sun? It needed some space. What do you call a fake moon? A counterfeit crescent. Why did the moon skip breakfast? It was trying to phase out its morning routine. How do you know if the moon is hungry? It starts to wax and wane. Why did the moon join the gym? It wants to get in shape for its full appearance. Why did the moon get in trouble in school? It kept showing up to class half-mooned. What do you call a group of moons? A lunar colony. Why don't astronauts ever invite the moon to parties? Because it's always waning. Why did the moon go to the doctor for a stomachache? It had too many crescents for breakfast. Knock, knock. Who's there? Boo. Boo-hoo. Don't cry, it's just the moon.
Ha ha ha. I love it, guys. Also, I'm going to do a session here this month about Chat GPT or Google Google Bard explaining their jokes. Let's get to this video and then we'll do some Google Bard jokes and we're out of here.
Over the edge, feel like I'm floating through the air. The pain I felt is paid for, all is said and done. Oh, I am restricted, fixed upon the web. I need to kick the habit that my mind is breathing in. Break out, I've got to see. All my life holding all of it closely. I played it innocent, a feel of discontent. I'm finally facing it all, fearless. Burning the bridge that keeps us. I'm here and I'm feeling fearless. Exaggerated, that's what you assume. The story's over now, I must conclude. I am conflicted, watching where I step still, hanging in the balance. Not the life I want to live, I want to take it all. Standing tall, fear outweighed the person you are. Oh, break out, I've got to see. Spent all my life holding all of it closely. I played it innocent, a feel of discontent. I'm finally facing it all, fearless.
Oh yeah, you got it, fearless. Pink Moon 101.9. No, I'm joking. This is not 101.9, but this is a hot jam, guys. You can see this video on Videos, Images, Pictures VIP guide as well. And if you wanted this song, you could download it for free on, let's see, let me take you there. Go to Creator Music and it might come up. Let's see, View Tracks. It didn't come up, but let's type this in. Watch this, guys. Fearless. Now, if you don't have YouTube Creator Music, which is in beta, okay. Anyway, I think it's Fearless by Lost Sky. I'm not sure why it's not coming up because I think these are the guys. But anyway, you can download this for free. Type this in. That's funny. I don't see it, but anyway, that is the Fearless track, and you guys can download it once we find it. But it's definitely, you can listen to it for sure. Let's go. Let's try this. Huh? Maybe they deleted it after I made a hit with it in a video we created. Maybe they said, "Hey, let's take it down." I doubt it, but that's weird. I don't see it anywhere, guys. I'm gonna try one more thing because that's funny. If you don't have Creator Music, you can also go to Audio Library, and it takes you back to the old way to get music. And I'm just gonna type this in there. Am I spelling fearless right? Fearless. Let's see what we got. Huh. Now I'm very confused. Not sure why that song's not coming up. Maybe it was taken out of rotation. So anyway, all right, guys. So last thing before we get out of here is these jokes right here. And let's get them played right now. But yeah, check this video out. It's on VIP. I have fun with it. Let's get Tyler.
Sure, here are 10 pink moon jokes. What do you call a pink moon that's always smiling? A Cheshire moon. What do you call a pink moon that's always frowning? A grumpy moon. What do you call a pink moon that's always sleeping? A lazy moon. What do you call a pink moon that's always eating? A hungry moon. What do you call a pink moon that's always playing? A fun moon. What do you call a pink moon that's always working? A busy moon.
Okay, Bard.
What do you call a pink moon that's always crying? A sad moon. What do you call a pink moon that's always scared? A frightened moon. What do you call a pink moon that's always angry?
No, Bard.
A mad moon.
Okay, all right, guys.
What do you call a pink moon that's...
Okay, we're going to have to do this again. Let's see. Because that was funny. Now we're going to use some of the competition now. ChatGPT, see what you got, guys. So we're going to do this. Please create 10 pink moon jokes. There we go. Little extra stuff. All right, Bart, we're going to try you again. Please create 10 pink moon jokes. Okay, let's play some of these, guys. Although it looks like some are the same. We're gonna get it into Revoicer. And don't forget, guys, the pink moon is coming up tonight. It's beginning tonight, and you'll be able to, it's totally full tomorrow. And just go back on this live broadcast and you can hear some things, or go to space.com and you can hear some good things about the moon. So all right, guys, we're gonna play these moon. We're gonna do it fast so we can get out of here, because I want to keep you under this 30 minutes. Let's do here, and we put Bard first. So let's just play.
Sure, here are 10 pink moon jokes. Why did the pink moon go to the doctor? It had a bad case of the lunacy. What do you call a pink moon that's always late? A tardy moon. What do you call a pink moon that's always early? An eager moon. What do you call a pink moon that's always lost? A wandering moon.
All right,
what do
Bart.
you call a pink moon that's always found? A lucky moon. What do you call a pink moon that's always clean? A spotless moon. What do you call a moon that's always in the middle? A median moon. Why did the pink moon blush? Because it saw the blue moon's full moon. What did the pink moon say to the blue moon? Nice to see you, full moon. Why was the pink moon feeling blue? Because it was feeling a bit overshadowed by the blue moon. How do you know the pink moon is in a good mood? It's all smiles and no craters. What do you call a pink moon that's feeling down? A sad moonberry. Why was the pink moon so popular? It was the star of the show. How does the pink moon like its tea? Light and rosy. What's the pink moon's favorite song? Pink Moon by Nick Drake. How does the pink moon stay fit? It does a lot of lunacises. Why did the pink moon go on a diet? To look a little lighter.
All right, guys. So for this last little minute, I'm going to say, just to show you how AI thinks, What does this joke mean? I'm going to go a little bit over, guys, just listening to this joke meaning. But sometimes I think the joke meanings are funnier than the actual jokes. So let's go here. Make it fast. Use Axel.
The joke, what do you call a pink moon that's feeling down? A sad moonberry is a play on words between pink moon and moonberry. Pink moon refers to the full moon that occurs in April, which is called the pink moon because it coincides with the blooming of pink flowers in some parts of the world. Moonberry is not a real word, but it sounds similar to blueberry or raspberry, which are types of fruit. In this joke, the word moonberry is used to create a humorous image of a hypothetical fruit that grows on the moon. The joke suggests that if a pink moon, which is already a rare and unique occurrence, were to be feeling sad, it would be like a moonberry that is not quite ripe or sweet. It's a silly joke that relies on the humor of the made-up word and the absurdity of a fruit growing on the moon.
All right, guys. I'm out of here. It's Greg Reese, VIP, videos, images, pictures.